is Damnison. That's your name, correct? Yes, that is my name, sir. It's good to meet you, kid. Now, we got a report about the recent incident that you had to deal with. This monstrous worm that you murdered. So, you're aware about what's going on, right? Yeah, these unknown anomalies coming around worlds and causing problems. It's scary. Indeed it is. Now, I want you to tell me what happened before we got here in the first place. Well, as usual, nighttime happened, and I decided to record just in case if I encountered certain creatures again as usual, because this happens a lot. So that worm was not the first monster you encountered? Yes, sir. There are many more. Please, continue on. Well, anyways, I went to the bathroom and I finished doing what I had to do. Then I heard, then all of a sudden, the power, which only seems to occur in the bathroom, just only the bathroom, the power just went off. And I heard noises. That's when I freaked out. And I immediately ran from the bathroom thinking that something was wrong, and I'm so glad I did. If I didn't run out of the bathroom in time, that thing would have got me and devoured me whole. I decided to take a peek at the bathroom door, only to notice the monster staring at me. That's when I snapped. That's when I got my gun and killed it. It was a nightmare. I thought I was there for sure, but luck was on my side just then. Now tell me about these other monsters you encountered, because turns out you encountered other monsters before. What are they? Well, there's this other monster that it was really aggressive. I only encountered it once though, thank God, but I heard it making noises from outside, so I came to see what was going on, and then all of a sudden, it saw me and it immediately chased me down, aggressively. I thought it was dead for sure, but luckily it left. But that thing's been after me for like an hour. Like, even when I went in my home thinking I was okay, it barged in my house. I had to go in hiding. Luckily my house had a basement. If I didn't have a basement, that thing would have found me eventually and killed me. It was that aggressive. I think I know what monster you are speaking of. Really? Yes. There's been many news about a certain creature that is extremely aggressive, attacking people on sight as it does. It seems you encountered the more aggressive type. Luckily for you, you survived. Can't say the same for the others who have unfortunately received the end of what happens when that thing catches them. Thank God for that. Then there's these two other monsters I encountered. There's a big one that I encountered outside. And then when I ran into my house, I lost it immediately. It didn't chase me down like the aggressive one did. Then there's a little one I encountered in another room. It chased me as well, but for some reason, I ran to my room and hid in the dark, and it just gave up just like that. Any other creatures you have encountered, Mr. Dennison? Yes, there is one particular creature, one monster that I encountered the most. It wouldn't leave me alone. Every night, like almost every night, I would see this thing. It would stalk me from a far distance. It just keeps watching me non-stop, almost every fucking night. Every almost fucking night. Anywhere I go, it's fucking there, watching me. Even out in public. How the fuck did no one notice this thing? Sir, you need to calm down. Panicking is not going to make you get any far. I apologize. It's just... it drives me nuts. How can you even deal with this thing? Knowing the news about what some of these creatures are capable of, it's just... I don't know how long it lasts before that thing decides that it won't want to kill me. think I know what monster you're speaking of. That thing has been reported in the news many times. And we even came up with a name for it. Wait, you guys came up with a name for it? Like, the whole government? Well, yes, true. But the name we decided to call it, the Stalkist. The Stalkist? Well, that sure as hell fits it, considering what it does. Yes, that thing's been around for a long time. The other monsters have been known too, but not as frequent as that one. That one seems to be discovered most by many people. Way more than the other monsters you described me. That thing seems to be stalking people for God knows how long. It can stalk people for either days, months, or even many more months. Can it at least stalk people for like a year or so? I don't know. For all we know, it tends to stalk people for literal months. Eventually, it will get aggressive, and eventually go out its way to kill its victims, if it decides to do so, considering how long it decides to stalk its prey for. So, how long do you think I'll be able to last for? Because that thing is starting to get aggressive towards me nowadays. Really? When do I start getting aggressive towards you? The time I decided to go out in public again, as usual, it was stalking me, and eventually I got to my car and it followed me to my car and it attacked me. It tried to attack me through the car, very angrily. Luckily I managed to drive away before it got a chance to reach towards me. Then there was another time when it got aggressive, at my home this time. I went outside to grab something from the fridge outside, and then I brought something inside with the fridge in my house, and then I made myself some cereal as usual, and fortunately, I heard the fucker banging on a door next to me. I looked at it, and was banging on the door like a madman. I was recording when it all happened too, and I immediately stopped recording and went to hiding just in case that thing started hunting me down. And luckily it didn't, but that terrified me. Now that I think about it, considering how aggressive it's starting to get, I don't even know how long I'll be able to last before it decides to finally kill me. That's a shame, really. However, we don't know the origins of these other monsters you speak of. However, we know the origin of the worm you killed. However, don't tell anyone about this. Even I'm not really supposed to tell anyone about this either, because the government, obviously. But please, do not tell anyone. I'm only telling you this because I care. Well, considering you and I had this talk, and I guess that makes sense. Where did that worm monster even come from anyway? It was a false experiment, created by a scientist. The good news is, the scientist is in prison. And as for that thing, yes. Ever since it fully awakened its true potential, and its now true form, it escaped. And for some reason, it tends to hunt down people who goes in the bathroom. So happens to go after you. But unfortunately, that thing going after you was its last mistake. Well, that's good. And I'm glad that thing is dead. It can't hurt people anymore. That is indeed true. It can no longer harm any more people now that you took it out. However, I'm not entirely sure about the other monsters. We don't know their capabilities. So, in the meantime, if that Stalkist ever attacks you in any shape or way or form, fight it. But whatever overpowers me, doesn't matter. Whatever weapons or any sort of thing you got to take that thing down, make sure it doesn't get you. These monsters has been terrorizing us long enough. I think it's about time that we finally get somewhere in life to take down these monsters. I also want to warn you about another entity that's been roaming around here too. Really? What is it? Well, I'll show you a picture real quick. Who is this? The name of this woman is unknown. However, we made some discoveries that might have something to do with her. And there's a certain individual who knows this creature very well. Turns out this creature is some sort of unknown entity. And it seems to take the form of this woman. Well, if that's the case, it can most likely take the forms of any other living organs out there. And it so happens to take the form of a very attractive blonde woman. But don't let that thing fool you. From what a certain individual told us, that thing could be a fake. What do you mean by that? Do you have any proof that that thing could be a mimic of some sort? Well, we didn't have any proof, but we were described of what it looked like. Well, at least what it revealed of what its true self looked like. The individual told us that, well, when she revealed her somewhat true self, her mouth was wide open, like inhumanly wide open, and she had black eyes with yellow pupils. Shit. Sounds like a mimic, alright. Sounds like... Actually, I don't even understand anymore. Well, thanks for letting me know. If I ever see a woman that looks like that, I'll definitely be on the lookout. Yes, that is a good idea if you do so. Who knows if that woman will target you next? Now that you may know its tricks. Because if that's the case, it seems to be disguising itself as an attractive blonde woman to simply attract men. To make men fall into its traps, so it can kill them. How does this thing kill them? From what an individual described us, it devours them. Like, whole. Devours them whole? What? That's insane! Indeed it is. Well, it's not like it matters. You don't really have any proof of it being monstrous. Actually, I did forget something. We do have one proof of this woman actually being a monster. You do? Yes. I'll show you a picture of it right now. What the fuck? That thing is standing next to a sleeping guy? Yes. And that so sleeping individual ended up being devoured by this said creature. This is insanity. I can't take this anymore. What the fuck? Well, that's all we need to tell you for now. Actually, there is one last thing I do need to warn you about. What is it? There's another entity that roams here too. However, the good news is it only roams around Japan. But still, even then, it is dangerous. What is it? Well, from what we discovered, it turns out to be some kind of pale woman, but it had multiple arms. It was also completely naked. And, yeah, it had long hair. It even had the similar wide open mouth and creepy eyes just like the last one, except its pupils were more white instead of yellow. It was discovered by a bunch of individuals who were recording while going through the caves that it dwells in before their demise. Wait, that thing roams around Japan? This pale woman? Wait, where are you getting this information from? How do you know that that thing roams Japan? Well, let's just say we have our own ways of discovering scenarios from other countries. Well, it's better that I don't ask, considering this is a secret between you guys. But that thing only roams around Japan, so we don't have to worry about that, but that's still pretty bad news out there. Yes. So, What should we do to get these monsters? They're causing so much problems. Well, we don't know what they're capable of, but we are trying to find ways to destroy them. To destroy them? I mean, I already destroyed one myself. That's good. That's one of those entities out of the way. The more creepy, monstrous entities we kill, the better that we'll be safer from these monstrosities. We can't allow them to live anymore. Although the problem is, we're trying to figure out how we can kill them off. Do you guys have any plans of how to take them out? We don't. And it's not making anything better for us considering the government is trying to silence us. Then, wait. The government is trying to silence us about these monsters? Why? I don't know. However, the government silencing us isn't doing us any favor. It's causing more panic from everyone around the world. Well, mainly here in America, considering most of these monsters are roaming around here anyway. Oh, fucking hell. This is ridiculous. Hey, that's the government's doing, not ours. Is this all you need to tell me? Yes. Well, it's good knowing you, officer. It's good knowing you, too. Am I excused now? It's okay if I leave? Considering this meeting is dismissed, yes, you may leave. But please, be careful out there. And remember, if the stalkers ever attack you in any sort of way, take